And we need a leader with experience and courage and good judgment and truthfulness. We need someone with a strong, bold plan of action to take this country in a new direction, and that man is John McCain. In a time of great hardship and worry, John has a plan to help our families keep their homes and keep our retirees not having to worry about their savings and the investments that they worked so hard for. Our esteemed elders who have trusted others to manage their money, and the greed on Wall Street and the corruption there making them worry that won't happen on our watch. We will help our students pay for their college education. And all of us to afford health care. Our plan will get this economy back on the right track. And together, John and I will work to complete the work of education reform, to give every child in America a chance, and all of us parents a better choice. John, too, he's got the backbone to confront the $10 trillion debt that our federal government has run up. We must confront this because, again, on our watch, we're not going to hand a $10 trillion debt to our sons and our daughters and expect them to pick up the tab for what we have spent. No, we must do this because the federal government has dug itself into a hole. And what do you do if you're in a hole and you don't want to be there? The first thing you do is you stop digging. To stop digging, we must impose a spending freeze on all but the most vital functions of government, that being worker retraining and taking care of our veterans. And we will balance the federal budget by the end of our first term. You all have to in your businesses and in your homes. You do that. We as mayors and governors, we're expected to. Don't know why the federal government has thought that they're any exception. We will balance that budget. And John and I will bring tax relief to every American and to our small businesses. We're going to let our small businesses keep more of what they've earned and produced so that they can hire more people. That's how jobs are created. Now, this is important, too, to realize that John and I are the only candidates in this race with a track record that actually proves that we can reform. We haven't just been talking the talk, we've been walking the walk. As a senator, John has confronted the corrupt ways of Washington. He's ruffled a lot of feathers along the way. He says, yeah, he's had to take on his own party when need be, the other party also, and he'll tell you he's got the scars to prove it. He confronted the wasteful spending and the abuses of power. And finally, as president, he's going to get to end those abuses, whatever it takes. Little bit about my own track record so you know where a candidate is coming from, so you can know where we'll help lead. Little bit about my own record as mayor. What I was able to do in my community was eliminate personal property taxes. And I eliminated small business inventory taxes and those things that really just got in the way of our private sector being able to grow and progress and thrive. We had a sales tax, so with the property tax being so high, every year in office reducing that mill levy so that I could literally be able to hang that shingle outside of our city's front door saying, we're open for business. Now, on a federal level, we'll take those principles, too, to help you. As governor, I suspended our state fuel tax. I put the veto pen to nearly $500 million in wasteful spending. And with our budget under control, having a surplus, I returned a chunk of the surplus right back to the people of Alaska because it's their money and they can spend it better than government can spend it for them. So there in Alaska, we got back to basics and put government back on the side of the people because I always knew who it was that I was accountable to. It was the people who hired me. There it's been the people of Alaska. And in our administration, we will never forget Pennsylvania. We'll be there in Washington, D.C. to work for you, the good people of America. In this great community and in others like it across the U.S., all that working people are asking for is a good job in their own hometown and with lower taxes and a pro-growth, pro-private sector agenda and spending under control in Washington and protection of our constitutional rights, we will get this country moving forward in the right direction. John and I will also end 30 years worth of some failed policy. We will set this country firmly on a path towards energy independence. We're going to develop new sources of energy and find better ways to tap into what we've already got, like our oil and our natural gas, and nuclear power and coal. And we're going to create hundreds of thousands of new jobs for hardworking Americans. You know, it was just about a month ago that my opponent, Joe Biden, he had told a voter in a rope line, he said something about, oh, there's no such thing as clean coal. We don't support clean coal. He's called environmentally friendly drilling on the offshore areas, raping the outer continental shelf. Both Biden and Obama have opposed this offshore drilling. And see, our opponents, as they keep continually saying no, no, no to domestic, responsible energy sources and solutions that are here, we will forever be beholden to foreign countries to supply energy for us. Some of these foreign countries don't like America very much. Some of these foreign countries and their volatile regimes running those countries, they use energy as a weapon. We have got to quit being reliant upon them, and we can do that here. See, here again, Americans have a clear choice on November 4th. To meet America's great energy challenge, John and I will adopt an all-of-the-above approach. In our administration, that will mean harnessing alternative energy sources like the winds and the solar and the biomass and the geothermal, those alternative sources that God has so richly blessed this land with also. And we're going to build more nuclear power plants. And whether Joe Biden approves it or not, we will develop clean coal technology in America. You know that there is more coal in this free country than there is oil in all of Saudi Arabia. We need to tap into it. Our plan for clean coal will create over 30,000 new jobs in areas where they are needed most. And we will also safely drill for those billions of barrels of oil that we have underground. And that means safely tapping into resources offshore. We will drill here and drill now. Drill, baby, drill, and mine, baby, mine. You're right. You're right. Mine, baby, mine. You're right. You're right. Drill, baby, drill. It is for the sake of our nation's our security. It isn't just economic here. When we talk about the hundreds of billions of U.S. dollars being circulated in foreign countries, and we send our Secretary of Energy overseas, and we send our President over to the Saudis, asking them to ramp up production for us, it's not just that those hundreds of billions of dollars being needed to be circulated here to create jobs. This really is a matter of national security when you consider those countries that don't like America, that are using